Hey, friend, welcome back. Welcome to what's this episode 6 of Conquer Conversations. So, listen, this week I'm coming to you straight up like you, my friend. You can see, baby, sis ain't did her makeup, sis ain't got her wig glued down, sister got her balloons up because I want to talk about this message of thinking bigger. Like I'm telling myself, I'm constantly telling myself, Deb, think bigger, think bigger, think bigger, think bigger. And that's all I want to be on for 2025. So let's dive straight into this episode of Conquer Conversations. And if you've been loving the podcast, I looked on Apple Music. I said, come on, 6 ratings of 5 stars. It's giving top worldwide podcast. Right. So if you've been loving the podcast, just let me know, like, subscribe, let me know in the comments, just be like, hey, I've been watching. Yeah, I'd love to hear. So I want to jump straight into Deb's diary. I want to let you know how I've been. Let me ask you, how have you been? How has the year started off for you? And do you feel excited about 2025? Is there anything you want to do differently in 2025? Do you want to repeat some of the things that you did last year? Do you want to, just do something entirely different? Where are you? I know for me, with this being a few weeks into the new year, I am, and that's going to be my main topic tonight, is just about challenging myself to just think bigger and already be in my next season, even though my feet are not there yet. My head and my heart have to be there, but my feet just aren't there yet. But girl, lately I've been trying to work. I've been trying to, like before the holidays and stuff, I really spent time like revamping my back end. So when I say that, I mean like my Monday.com, which y'all know I swear by and have for some time now, where I have all of my customers and leads and email campaigns and social media campaigns and strategies and the podcast and the Conquer Club and the dates and have I sent the emails. Like when I go to work, that's going into Monday.com and saying, hey, there's a system, a board. It calculates my sales. It calculates how many leads I have, how many people I need to follow up with. And I built it from scratch in Monday.com. So yeah, I've just been working that system, and really just not being afraid to pitch my product and service. I know the other day I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw somebody say they're like something to the extent of, and I get this. They was like, there's nothing more tacky than a business owner. As soon as they free you, they're in your inbox. And I feel them on that. I truly do. And I am DMing and reaching out to women who are, we've been connected for some time. But a part of me is slick like, I don't know. I'm not sometimes I'm not mad at it. I guess it depends because it's just like a man when it comes to your business, right? If you come into me pitching on the first day looking broke, looking disgusted, looking out of alignment, social media looking whack, page looking whack, you don't have no content, everything that you have just looks bummy, then you pitch it to me day one, ugh, like, ugh, go away. But just like a man, you come correct, you dress nice clothes, nice smelling good, good job, got you a good car, come real nice, real respectful, and baby, you look to be just what I need. Then you might DM back. Okay, let's just keep it 1,000 since we gonna DM right on back. So I'm conflicted, and I know for me, one of the key things that I'm thinking about in the back of my head that I learned that I had to learn from somebody else who's actually doing this, and that's the idea that when we're posting content and stuff. In my mind, I'm thinking, well, my messaging is good. I love what I do. I've had success with it. I've been around lots of women. Like I've proven that this works. That still means nothing if you're posting all of that organically for sustainable lead generation. That means nothing. That's not a social media, a full strategy. That's like content. But even still, once they see it and like it, then what? How do you make the money? And so, just like before, and this is why this year, I was telling my husband this. I was like, I got to go back to the basics. I got to go back to the basics. Because before, I'm in your inbox, I'm all live saying comment, a money bag emoji, I'm going to follow up with you. I'm on a consultation. I'm following up. Like, I got to get back to that. I can't be so where my content, because my content is very dynamic, my back end is good, my emails are good and stuff. I still can't just rely on inbound traffic like that because for me, in my business model and what I'm experiencing, my women need an actual touch, right? And so I'm not mad at folks hopping in DMs. Hello, just like we wouldn't be mad. Now, it's a difference between a bum hopping in your DM versus Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Let's keep it 100, okay? So Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. He coming that thing on day one, baby. You gonna be like, oh, the Lord has blessed me and sent me exactly what I needed. You ain't gonna be mad. So it's still a matter of showing up correctly and taking a chance, right? So I'm shooting my shot all 2025. That's my Deb's Diary update. I'm shooting my shot all 2025. I want to shoot my shot in a scary way. I truly do. So that's what I'm on right now. That's what's in the back of my mind right now when I'm sitting down and coming in my office in the morning. I'm going through my stuff to do. I have to have something on there where I'm shooting my shot in a scary way because I deserve it. And I've built it, and this is where we are. Right? And the worst they can say is no, and I'm in the same position I am in now, which is a great position to be in. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So pop your ish moments. So I just did Deb's diary, where I tell you kind of what I've been up to. That's all I've been up to, girl. And trying to start back eating right. I'm trying, even though I'm finna go make some spaghetti. Anyway, pop your ish segment. I really want to do this segment to just highlight women doing dope stuff, me doing dope stuff, and just celebrate us and the stuff that we're doing, right? Just because I am not where I want to be, um, doesn't mean I can't. I'm celebrating while I'm on my way, right? So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about and dreaming and fantasizing about chapter 90 of my story when I'm on chapter 6. But that's cool because I need to celebrate each of those chapters because I'm on my way, right? But the very first thing that I have to say is that shout out to the Conquer Club. So the Conquer Club is my community that we meet every Tuesday night. It has really morphed into a sisterhood. It's not like a coaching group. I will naturally just teach a little and drop gems when I'm talking about stuff that I'm doing inside of my business. But most of it is accountability, it's work-life balance. It's talking about our families. Like, we're a group of women. We love our families. We don't believe in working down to the bone and just throwing your kids some crumbs of goldfish. No, close the laptop and go whip up some hamburger helper. You know, we believe in inspiring each other, getting tips and ideas from each other, and we just naturally share. So I have to pop our ish and say that the Conquer Club, this is our third year. We have created our very first. I need to hype my voice up. You can tell that like I'm chilling. I'm doing this pod at the end of my workday today. So that's why I'm kind of like my energy like a little low. And I'm about to go to the gym. So my mind is like, girl. But we have our very first multimillionaire that we have produced from the Conquer Club. Very first multimillionaire that we have produced from the Conquer Club. She has been in this group coaching like before it was even the Conquer Club, really, when I was trying to figure out my whole group thing. But kudos to her. I will not reveal who that is because, child, that is her business. And I know you feel me on that. But shout out to her. Kudos to her. She works. She does not apply brakes. She is all gas. All gas. 2 hours of sleep, all gas. Right. So yeah, she is the epitome of what consistency and strategy can do. So shout out to her. Shout out to her. Shout out to my girls inside the Conquer Club. And if you're interested in Conquer Club, you can go to jointheconquerclub.com. You can see more about our community. You can see some of our statistics. You can read more about the girls that are there. And if you look on this YouTube channel, I don't know if you're watching this on YouTube now, but if you look on my YouTube channel, you can actually see some clips from our kickoff call that we did last week. We did a January kickoff call, which is kind of like a pep rally for us to get ready for the year. So you can see some clips from that and just hear us kind of talk and see the ladies and stuff. So yes, baby. So we got to turn that up. Let's get into this main topic, this idea of thinking bigger in 2025. Y'all, when I do these podcasts, this is also, you have to think, I'm sitting in my room, in my office by myself, talking to my computer, just kind of letting my thoughts flow, even though I have a brief outline. This is really me talking to me sometimes. And maybe you're listening in on this, or you're really enjoying the podcast, or maybe you find this 10 years from now where I'm big and famous and you really resonate with this. But like I just shared, I've really been telling myself, you've got to think bigger. And I have to applaud my community and the women that I keep around me for this. Because there have been times where I've shared my goals, ideas, dreams, aspirations, next steps, and people receive it almost in, I will say this. So these are people that are close to me, that know me, that my true community, not just people who follow me on Facebook. They don't know me, but like women in the Conquer Club, people in my personal social network, social circle. I mean, they really encourage me to think big with Conquer. And my thing has always been, oh, I'm thinking big, but I'm thinking big for the future. I'm thinking big for once we blow up, for once this happened, once we get this amount of followers and this amount of, like, I'm thinking big for the future. Where I really need to be thinking big about the now. My very next step, how can it be? What is the biggest next step that I can take? And let me add to this, because there are seasons where the next step doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be small, consistent, repeatable things that you can just start to do and get into the groove. But I've been in the groove for a little bit. Small, consistent things, posting, email marketing systems, back end, the funnel, all of that, we're there. How in the world do I scale this and think so much? The steps that I take, I have to be taking like big steps. You know how like you was taking steps when you walking down the sidewalk, you was like, step on the crack, break your mama back. You stepping way over there because you don't want to break no crack. Step on no crack. That's how big my steps need to be. That's how big and bold my next ideas and my movements have to be. My pitching, the way that I see it, the way that I envision the income, the way that I imagine the impact. And I'm telling myself, Deb, and y'all know I'm not no Bible thumper, like you truly have not because you ask not. Of course, you're not going to be able to impact 1,500 people at a time because you don't think that that's possible right now. So of course you can. Of course you won't find yourself in a room with a microphone, 1,500 people, because you don't think that's possible. So that's what I'm telling myself, right? So I'm like, okay, if we could really imagine our best year yet, to where we was like, bro, we turned up, what would that look like? And those things are big. And what I had to do, and if you haven't done this, then I want you to think about this. I had to really sit and let my mind go crazy and pushing through the initial discomfort and really imagine what's big, like what could really make this my best year yet. Like, not just my best year yet to the people around me, like my best year yet, where it's like, ooh, we, okay. And still leaving room for flexibility, right? But yeah. So I wrote down three things that I've been telling myself about thinking bigger and taking really big steps. And this is, I feel like this is after you've conquered the idea of taking like these small steps. Like you the type of person, you know you're gonna go get up and work, you know you're gonna get up and go on live, you know you're gonna get up and engage with your audience, you know you're gonna go to the events, you know you're gonna work the systems, you know you're gonna pay for the stuff. So all of those small consistent things conquered. But maybe you're still on that journey. Maybe you're just starting that journey. Girl, you good. But I need to be taking, and there are going to be some things where I need to keep it small. But there are also like I need to be taking big steps. Like, hey, I'm shooting my shot, and it might work. Okay, three things that I wrote down around this. The first one is go for it. Go for it. And I don't mean go for it. And hey, I can't tell you. I can't tell you what to do, child. I that's why I be like, well, let me tell you about me, and you take with it what you will, okay? But for me, go for it doesn't mean just completely forget about my reality and just email the CEO of American Airlines and say, well, every person that board a flight needs to hear Conquer on the intercom. Like, I mean, go for it where I was telling myself, the people that you want to be a guest on the podcast, people that you know in your real life, but you think they might say no because their platforms are so much bigger. Telling myself, go for it. Just watch. Just watch, friend. With my sales, with the Conquer Club, with the visibility, with me here locally in Dallas, I'm telling myself, go for it. Go for it. You've laid the groundwork. Let's go for it. So I wonder what that would look like for you if this year we just truly decided to just go for it. And then another thing I'm telling myself, and this is something that every person I know that is way more successful than me, they either say it directly or indirectly. And that's keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Simple messaging, simple branding, simple offers, simple instructions, simple tactics. And when I say simple, I don't mean bland, boring, and blend in with everybody else. But I mean the idea of a simple message that empowers women to conquer their confidence, consistency, and community. And that being the only message that we relay. Not conquer can do this and teach you how to cook and teach you how to twerk and teach you how to dress and do you how to do this. Like, well, what's the point? Now, this is for me and where I want to go. But this simple messaging, and let me tell you why. I can't get into why. It streamlines my back end. The biggest thing for me is streamlining my messaging seems to be best for my audience so that they know how to receive it. But also when I'm pitching to people, companies, whatever, I can say, hey, this is the core of Conquer. This is what we believe in. This is what we do. This is what we teach. This is our framework. Blah. Because I had too many moments when I first started Conquer. People was like, well, what do you, so what, tell me, what do you do? And it's like, oh, girl, we do a lot. We do, don't about, like, girl, be for real. No, sound a mess. Sound all over the place. The next thing I know, I'm rambling off for 40 seconds about da 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 da. Oh, I have a community of women. We focus on consistency, confidence, and community. So we meet every Tuesday night, and then we have networking events in the summer. The Conquer Club and Conquering Cocktails. Very, very, and from that, you can fill in the details, right? So just understanding that simple messaging is going to save me at this next level. And I also am keeping in the back of my mind that that doesn't mean that I can't express myself in other ways or add other elements to the business. You know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't mean that, but underneath that, so even if I did do cooking videos per se, my husband told me, he said, you don't want need to be having cooking videos. He said, because you need to share these recipes and you can cook. So I wouldn't start doing cooking with Conquer. Like I would do, hey, I will go back to, hey, what is at the core of what we believe in this organization? And that's work life balance, right? That we're busy women, but we love our families. Okay. We ain't just sending you off with some ramen. Like, no, let's cook. Let's talk like we love our families. We want to be present women. So those cooking videos become 30-minute everyday meals for busy entrepreneurs, right? Loving on your family series. So you can take something that's outside of what you do, but that core messaging has to tie back into what we believe in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really thinking about that this year inside of my business, right? Is it cohesive? Is it simple? And is it easy to understand? Especially if you've never heard of it before, is it easy to understand? 2 sentences, 3 sentences. Okay. That's been a really big thing for me. When it comes to thinking bigger, I have to go simple and then I can go big. I can't go big with 86 million legs and ideas and offers. Because if I'm confused, they're confused. And the last part of me thinking bigger, and you let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. The last thing that I wrote down about me really thinking bigger in 2025 and making this my best year yet is understanding that I have to compound for results. And this is a topic where tomorrow night, when we do the goal setting workshop inside the Conquer Club, I'm going to touch on this just a bit because I want to make sure that everyone inside the Conquer Club is really on this. And that is the idea that the things that I do every day, good or bad, they add up. Okay. So if I eat 2 cupcakes every day, that adds up. If I reach out to 2 conferences a week to actually speak, that adds up. If I don't work out for the next 6 months, every day for the next 6 months, that adds up. But if I go live and do the podcast every week, that adds up. So the things that I do in my life and in my business, the things that I do every day, they add up. They will compound over time and I will be handed the results based off what I did. And I'm mindful of that and I just want to be more aware of that. Okay. So like I said, and here's the thing that we can get from this too. When you put it that way, that doesn't mean you're going to see results in 2 weeks, 2 months, 12 months, 24 months, maybe not. But when we go year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, those things have compounded in a very good way or a very bad way. So if I go live weekly, do my podcast weekly, engage with my community weekly, whatever we decide to do, in 2 weeks, big difference? Nah. 8 months? Slightly. A year? I guess a little bit. 2 years? 3 years, okay. 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. How do you think that's gonna compound over time? But if I don't eat good, if I don't work out, if I don't spend time with my family, if I don't have a community, if I don't, stay consistent with my strategy and back end that I built in 2 weeks, will it seem like a huge difference? No. In 8 months, can I feel it? Yeah, a little bit, but I'm used to it. In 12 months, no. But year two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, you looking, but you like, man, I missed out on a lot. I wasn't my best self. I I'm getting the results based off of the little things that I did every day. That in that moment didn't seem like it was a lot. Because baby, I could throw back 2 cupcakes every day. Well, I ain't no sweets person, but some chips, I can throw back a bag of chips every day. Nah, in 2 weeks you're gonna see a difference? No. 6 weeks, no. 8 weeks, no. 12 weeks, no, maybe. But 12 months, you're gonna see a difference. You're gonna be like them arms hanging. The things that we conquer or choose not to conquer day to day, they add up. But here's where, I really, really, really believe in progress and not perfection. I have a very all or nothing personality. And I want to work through that because I want to give myself grace sometimes. So that doesn't mean when you hear me say this, that doesn't mean I have to work myself to the bone every day, all day, da, 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 in order for that compound effect to work, in order for me to be successful. No. But if you work 5 days a week and three of you went hard, one of them you had a half day, and Friday you was off, I got to give it to you. That's still going to compound, right? I may not eat good every day, but if I eat good Monday through Thursday, it will still compound. Okay. So I'm telling myself it doesn't have to be an all or nothing approach. That you deserve a lot of grace. You deserve a lot of space for day to day life, but you also deserve the future you and all of the women who need conquer deserve for you to put in the work. Period. And it's nothing I can do to avoid the work. It's nothing I can do to avoid putting in the the backbreaking work. Can't avoid it. And the women that need this business deserve that from me. And more importantly, I deserve it. The God that sent me that birthed this deserves to see this manifest into reality, okay? Because I have to remember my head and my heart see this. My feet just aren't there yet. And that's okay. So we're thinking bigger and bolder all 2025. That message just really blessed me myself. I hope that resonated with you. I hope that felt good for you. Like I said, if you've been enjoying the podcast, send me a DM, send me a screenshot of you listening, make a post, or even if you just comment on the platform that you're watching on and let me know. But I will see y'all next week. Next week we actually have our very, very, very first guest on Conquer Conversations. We'll have a very first guest of the pod. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have some good girl talk, and we're going to be talking about some shady, shady, shady stuff that we're used to seeing online. We're going to be bringing that to the podcast next week. So y'all already know the vibes. Make sure you wake up tomorrow and conquer something, and I will see y'all on the next episode of Conquer Conversations. Bye, girl.